Hello, hey, hey. Happy Wednesday, everybody. The week is winding down. How y'all doing? Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, Joey. Hi to all of my family members that watch. Hi to my friends. And thank y'all who are going to be popping in. Y'all know I appreciate you. Let me turn this volume down so I don't get no problems. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's go to Instagram. Well, I'll wait till y'all pop in before I start talking, because hey, please say hi as you come in so I can greet you properly. Okay, so we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Our recording device is getting queued up. Hey, y'all. All right, and let me delete this. Who's watching? Hey, say hi. I see you in there. Okay. So tonight I'm very excited because tonight's stories were all sourced by y'all. All three of my stories were suggestions from some of my followers. So I'm very excited about tonight. Hopefully they all pop on. We have Fashion Nova's in trouble again, y'all. Um, One of my favorite coffee places is making a appearance. And then there's a new artist. Does anybody know an artist by the name of Chris Sales? Because he's making an appearance. Anyway, we're getting started in about 3 minutes, so make sure that at 8:05 you share this out to your friends, okay? Ooh. Yes. I worked out heavily today, and my muscles are like, hey girl, what's going on? Friends on Facebook, please say hi so I can greet you. Who's there? Okay, I know there's Trista. Hey, Trista. Who else is watching? Let me say hi to y'all, because I can't see your pictures. All right, we're getting started in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We're getting started in just 2 minutes. Make sure that, you invite your friends. Hey, Charlie. Hi. Thanks for saying hi. All right. What's poppin'? Dun 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 dun. I like that song. What's that? Jack Harlow. I like his song. Ooh. All right. Hey, Alex, the mortgage broker. Happy Wednesday. All right. So we're getting started in just 1 minute, guys. Uno minuto till we get started. Let's get it. Let's get it. Hey. Does anybody like Jack Harlow? I like him. Hey, Creating Time. How you doing, hun? All right. We are getting started very, very shortly. I know y'all like to pop in at 8:05. Y'all don't like the cocktail hour. Who doesn't like a good happy hour? It's all right, though, as long as y'all show up. Okay. All right. So, all right. Time to get started, guys. All right, let me pause this and I'm going to hit record. I'm glad you're doing well, creating time. All right, let me hit record. All right. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday through Thursday live broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If this is your first time watching me or you're hearing the podcast playback and you don't know who I am, I'm Natalie Pierre-Lewis. I'm the host of the show and I'm the owner and operator of NPL Consulting LLC, a business formation firm. What that means is I help people like yourself get your business paperwork together. So things like getting your articles of incorporation, making sure you have EIN numbers and DUNS numbers, making sure you have appropriate contracts so you don't get burned by clients and partners. Basic brand protection strategies so people don't steal your business ideas, and hiring policies so you don't get sued for discrimination. I help you set up all of these foundational things. Hey, Margaret, set these foundations for your business so that you can grow strong, with a strong foundation. If you're wondering why I'm qualified, I am a licensed attorney. I have been one for almost 15 years. I've started multiple businesses for myself and others, both online and offline. I've had many careers in the realms of entrepreneurship, the law, education, hospitality, and administrative support. And most important, I'm very passionate about making business and legal education as accessible to everyone as possible. Not everybody has the time, the money, or the desire to go to business school or to law school, but a lot of you have amazing business ideas. And if you're going to be successful in business, there are just some things that you need to know. There's no way around it. So if you've been thinking about starting a business idea, or if you're in the startup phase, your business is getting off the ground and you need some legal guidance to, steer you in the right direction, I'm the person that you want to talk to. Go to linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm. That is the only link in my bio on Instagram, and it's all over my page on Facebook. There you can book yourself a free 15-minute consultation if you are a first-time client. You can also download the free Biz Launch cheat sheet that will help you choose and start your dream business in 7 days or less. That is at linktree/NPL Consulting Firm. Also, at that link, linktree/NPL Consulting Firm, you can subscribe to the YouTube page and the podcast. And you will also find access to some of my video trainings, like my Let's Get EIN Numbers training, where I show you how to get an EIN number. Now, most attorneys, if you go to them and ask them for an EIN number, they're going to charge you anywhere from $75 to $125, and they're not going to show you how to do it. I teach you how to do the process for $59 because most entrepreneurs start multiple businesses in their lifetimes, okay? So go check out linktree/NPL Consulting Firm. There's a lot of cool stuff over there, all right? All right, but that is enough about me. Let's get to the show. That's why y'all here, right? Okay, so the way that the show works, for those of you who might be new, is that I pull stories from the news, stories from blog sites. Today is a special episode because every single story that we have today was submitted to me by you guys. I had 2 stories from 76 Grimke, and I have a story from Miss Whitney, and they have completed our list of stories for today. That makes me feel really good. I love when you guys send me stories. It lets me know that you guys are involved, and it lets me know what you guys want to hear about. So I'm really excited about today's episode since it was sourced by you guys, because this show is not just for me, it's for y'all. So when y'all get involved, that gets me excited, okay? But yeah, I pull stories that have lessons that we can learn as business owners, and we talk about them. So this is your time to give your comments and your questions, as long as they're respectful, okay? And it's more exciting when we participate together. Nobody just wants to hear somebody talking at them. Remember, you were in school and somebody would just lecture and lecture and lecture. That's boring. You like the classes where you got to interact and do stuff, okay? So that's what we're doing here. All right, so let's get started. 76 Grimke, our first story was submitted by you, boo. All right. If you have heard of Fashion Nova, give me an F in the comments. If you have heard of Fashion Nova, give me an F in the comments. Now, I'm pretty sure all of us have heard of Fashion Nova. It's basically it's an online fast fashion store. They're pretty well known. You can get clothes pretty cheap on there. Fashion Nova is always getting sued. Thank you, 76 Grimke. Fashion Nova is always getting sued for violating patents and trademarks and designs by other, from other companies. They've been sued by Versace. Thank you, Charlie. They've been sued by Thanks, Trista. They've been sued by almost everybody, and today is no different. Fashion Nova is currently being sued for trademark infringement by Playboy, the Playboy company. Now, if you didn't know, who can tell me what the official Playboy, quote unquote, uniform is? If you were to think of Playboy and a uniform, what would you think? Right? Think about what they call the girls who appeared in Playboy magazine when it was a magazine. What were they called, right? Does anybody know? Don't act like y'all don't know. Come on, we're all adults here. Okay, and I'm not going to hold you too long. Anyway, if you didn't know, the Playboy at one time was an adult magazine, and the women, yes, the bunny outfit, thank you, Margaret, and the women who appeared in the magazine were called Playboy bunnies. Thank you, 76 Grim K, for the bunny. Did you know that Playboy actually has a trademark on the Playboy bunny outfit? Like it's a satin corset, a bow tie, the bunny ears, thank you, Charlie, and the white tail. These are all owned. These are all intellectual property, thank you, Trista, of Playboy. That whole costume, the way that it is designed, is something that is protected by the Playboy company. They were very smart in protecting that. And they are suing Fashion Nova because Fashion Nova is currently selling their own version of the Playboy bunny costume. They're calling it the Bunny of the Month, 4-piece costume. And Playboy is not happy about it. Now, Fashion Nova, this is no surprise. Fashion Nova is always ripping off other people, and Playboy is not playing with them. They said, yes, 76 Grim K, Playboy's not playing with them. They said, look, we got our trademarks. I don't care what kind of fast fashion you are not going to rip off our costume. So they are currently suing Fashion Nova for trademark infringement. Now, we know that, do you guys think that the costume is the Playboy costume so distinctive that they deserve this protection? Because most of you said what, the costume that you thought of when you think of Playboy. You thought of the bunny costume. So do you think that they deserve this protection for the bunny costume? How many of us have tried to dress up as a bunny, right? And it's one thing if you make your own costume. It's another thing for a fashion house, fast fashion or no, to basically rip off the design and start selling it at a discount. I checked. I think the official Playboy bunny costumes run for about $30-$40. I'm sure you can get this costume for probably $10-$15. On Fashion Nova. 76 Grim K said, yes, it does deserve the protection. Right? Playboy, they have a long storied history. They are embedded in American culture, right? We know what that bunny logo means. I put the bunny logo in my Instagram stories today, and you guys knew exactly what company the logo belonged to. Playboy, they have a reputation out in these streets, right? And they want to protect that. And they have a certain look that they are trying to protect. So they don't want other brands, especially Fashion Nova, ripping them off. Margaret Massey said, Fashion Nova, they know they're wrong. They do deserve the protection. Hey, Sincere 39, how you doing, sir? Right. So Playboy is at Fashion Nova's neck, just like a bunch of other designers, because this is what Fashion Nova does. This is what happens in fast fashion. I've told you guys many times, in fashion, it's really hard to protect your work unless it's like a very distinctive pattern or, a very distinctive design. So when you do create, when you want to protect it as much as possible so that when somebody inevitably copies it, because that is just what happens in the fashion world, you can go after them, right? So Fashion Nova, they're going to have to face the music with Playboy and these bunny costumes. Anyway, good luck to them, okay? All right, so yeah, I just wanted to let you know about Fashion Nova's latest infringement case, okay? All right, so we are moving on to our second story of the evening. And this is going to be interesting. So I asked you guys in the comments earlier, I asked if you guys liked Dunkin' Donuts, and 75% of you said no, and that really hurt my feelings. If you like Dunkin' Donuts, give me a DD in the comments. If you like Dunkin' Donuts, give me a DD in the comments. Just so you know, I'm from Boston. Dunkin' Donuts runs Boston. There's a Dunkin' Donuts on every corner. I grew up on their coffee. I love Dunkin' Donuts, and it really upsets me that I can't find Dunkin' Donuts as often as I would like to in the DMV area. But if you are a Dunkin' Donuts fan, give me a DD. Thank you, Sincere39. At least one person has some good taste up here. All right. My dad used to say that Dunkin' Donuts coffee has crack in it because it was just so good. Anyway, so Dunkin' Donuts, like most fast food chains, like most chains, they have franchisees. You only like the cinnamon rolls, Margaret? Okay. But you like something, all right? Dunkin' Donuts got something for everybody, okay? Yes. But Dunkin' Donuts, they are a chain, which means that they have franchisees, which means that individual restaurants, they can basically purchase the rights to call themselves a Dunkin' Donuts restaurant, and they have to follow certain rules, right? You have to keep up certain appearances. When you think of Dunkin' Donuts, what are the three things that you think of when for Dunkin' Donuts? Tell me the three qualities that you think of, or the three things. It doesn't have to be qualities. What three things or words come to mind when you think of Dunkin' Donuts? When I think of Dunkin' Donuts, I think coffee, breakfast sandwiches, and early mornings. Like whenever I would have an early morning where I'm running, I have to run and I don't have time to make breakfast, I would stop at a Dunkin' Donuts to grab something. So what do you think of when you think of Dunkin' Donuts? Y'all don't think of anything? Anyway, like I said, I think of coffee, breakfast sandwiches, and early mornings, right? Okay, Sincere39 said coffee, donuts, and muffins. Awesome, right? But when we think, Margaret Massey said cinnamon rolls. When we think of Dunkin' Donuts, we don't think of dirty, right? 76 Grimke said coffee, donuts, and long lines. Trista said donuts, bagels, and coffee. Okay, in none of those discussions do I see the word dirty. No franchise, no restaurant wants to be known for being filthy, right? Particularly a chain. There was a New Jersey restaurant, a New Jersey location of a Dunkin' Donuts. Apparently they had an inspection by the officials of Dunkin' Donuts, and they found that the restaurant was filthy. The floors were dirty. There were insects. It was disgusting. So Dunkin' Donuts was like, girl, this is not how we represent Dunkin' Donuts out in these streets, so you don't get to call yourself a Dunkin' Donuts anymore. They stripped that location of their franchisee rights, meaning that they no longer had the right to call themselves a Dunkin' Donuts. They no longer had the right to display the Dunkin' Donuts signs, right? But the owner of the restaurant was like, I don't care what you say, and kept kept presenting themselves as a Dunkin' Donuts in New Jersey. And now Dunkin' Donuts is suing them for trademark infringement, right? Because Dunkin' Donuts, I do not know where in New Jersey, Sincere39, my apologies. It did not tell me what city. But when you have a trademark, right, when you have a company, you have certain qualities that you want to be expressed in the world, particularly when you are a chain. People expect a certain quality. Margaret Massey said, that's right, making DD look bad, right? When I go to, 76 Grimke said they had to be really nasty, right? When you go to a chain restaurant, more than once, you know what to expect, right? So you want that experience every time you go to that chain restaurant. Hey, Shonda, that's why you go to a chain restaurant. So Dunkin' Donuts, they're a chain. They said, we have a standard that we expect for each and every one of our restaurants. So this particular restaurant, because they did not uphold those standards of cleanliness, Dunkin' Donuts was like, you no longer represent us. This is not the standard of quality that we want represented in the streets. So you don't get to call yourself a Dunkin' Donuts anymore. This is why it's important to defend your mark. You don't want people out here putting a bad stain on your name because they're not using your name properly. This is why you have to defend your mark zealously. If someone is either using it without your permission or using it after you told them to stop, right? So Dunkin' Donuts they stripped this restaurant of their rights. They kept using the name. So now they're getting sued for trademark infringement, right? So, my esteemed audience, do you think that Dunkin' is doing too much? Or do you think that this restaurant needs to get a grip, right? You're a franchisee. I'm sure you spent a lot of money to be able to call yourself a Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm sure you went through a lot of, training on how to run the restaurant and how to keep the restaurant. Why would you want to jeopardize that and not maintain the standards? Every chain restaurant has, these are the type of tools that you use. Here's how long you cook it. Here's how you keep the place. And you're basically, making them look bad in these streets. It's like, how when your mother, when you were leaving the house, she'd look you over to make sure you were neat. So people, she'd be like, I don't want people talking about me in the street. She want to make sure that you look good, you smell good, so people don't think that, something rotten is going on back home. Same thing with Dunkin' Donuts. When you are a franchisee, you are our child in these streets. You represent us. So you need to represent us in the right way. Margaret Massey said the restaurant needs to get a grip. Absolutely. So good luck to Dunkin' Donuts. 76 Grim Cray DD is protecting the brand. Very, very true. And thank you for 76 Grim. Thank you, 76 Grim Cray, for sending me that story. 76 Grim Cray, be on it. Be sending me stories like what? I love it. Okay. So my beloved Dunkin' Donuts is out here defending their name from people who can't keep their restaurants clean. I don't appreciate that. All right. Good luck to Dunkin' Donuts. Yes. Okay, we're actually moving along pretty quickly. I am very excited. We're probably going to have time for Q&A tonight, okay? Before we move on to our last story of the evening, I want to remind you that you are watching NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday through Thursday live broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If you're in the startup phase of your business and you need some legal guidance, if you don't know how to, get your articles of incorporation, if you don't know how to get an EIN number, if you need help putting together a contract or an operating agreement or a non-disclosure agreement, if you don't know how to protect your logo or your book or your art, if you need help with hiring policies, these are all things that I can help you with. Go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm and set up an appointment with me. I would love to chat with you, okay? All right. Yes, okay. So moving on to our final story of the evening. Does anybody know the artist Chris Sales? He's a music artist. I think he's a rapper, maybe. Has anybody heard of the artist Chris Sales? If you have, just give me a yes in the comments, please. This story was actually submitted by Miss Whitney. I don't think she's on here with us today, but she did submit it. Has anybody heard of the artist Chris Sales? Charlie has heard of Chris Sales. Okay, Charlie, have you heard Chris Sales' song, He Ain't Me? 76 Grim K said the name sounds familiar. Well, Charlie knows who he is. Charlie, do you know Chris Sales' song, He Ain't Me? If you do, just give me another yes in the comments. Okay? I'm going to wait for Charlie. Sorry to Podcast Land, but Charlie's the only one who knows who this artist is. Okay, so you know the song He Ain't Me, right? So Chris Sales is being sued by two musicians or producers, one by the name of Mike Guap and one by the name of Jiggy Zoe. Apparently, Chris Sales stole the beat for He Ain't Me from them. And they are suing him for copyright infringement. They apparently have tried to DM him. He said that they were too broke to sue him for stealing it. And then he blocked them on social media. So now they are turning to social media to let people know that he stole the beat. And the story that Miss Whitney sent me, I believe it was on the Shade Room or it was on the Jasmine brand. Either way, they play a clip of Chris Sale's He Ain't Me, and then they play the beat with Mike Guap and Jiggy Zoe. And I'm going to tell you the beats sound identical, right? Now, Mike Guap and Jiggy Zoe, they haven't filed any official paperwork yet to sue Chris Sales for copyright infringement. But can anybody tell me, what will they need to successfully at least begin to sue for copyright infringement? What will Mike Guap and Jiggy Zoe need to, if they plan on suing Chris Sales for copyright infringement? What do you think? Because right now, what they're doing is just kind of putting stuff out here on social media. And yes, the court of social media is real, but if you want any real, effective change, you're probably going to have to go to a courthouse. So think about all the stories that we've had about copyright infringement. Think about how the law has changed. What are Mike Guap and Jiggy Zoe going to need if they are going to successfully sue Chris Sales for copyright infringement for stealing their beat? Does anybody know? Hey, hey, does anybody know? Oh, hey, hey, hey. Charlie Watson Stevens said proof that they had made the beat prior to him releasing it and that he was aware of the beat. IDK just guessing. Well, that's part of it. No, 76 Grim K, that's what they would do to get him to stop, right? Send a cease and desist letter. But Chris Sales doesn't seem to have any intention of stopping. Margaret Massey said, show that they have produced the beat. It's not just showing that they have produced the beat. Remember, I told you guys, nowadays when you're suing for copyright infringement, you need a legal copyright. You need a registered copyright in order to be able to successfully sue for copyright infringement. The Copyright Court is no longer, for the most part, taking cases of copyright infringement if you have not officially registered with the Copyright Office. So the first thing that Mike Guap and Jiggy Zoe are going to have to show is that they have a legally registered copyright for this beat. Okay, do we understand how that works? Give me a thumbs up if we understand. Now, if they have the legally registered copyright, that is going to supersede, any proof. They're not going to have to show proof that they created the beat, here's us in the studio, because they're going to have that piece of paper right there that says we own this beat, okay? Do we understand? So for all of my artists out there, if you are worried about your work being stolen, you need to register your art with a copyright so that you can successfully sue in court, because going forward, most of the cases for copyright infringement, if you don't have a legal copyright, they're not going to hear your case. They're going to dismiss it. Okay? So, if you are a Chris Sales fan, you may want to reach out to him and tell him that, he needs to do the right thing and pay these gentlemen their money. I listened to the beat. If y'all can, I think you can, again, it's either on the Jasmine brand or the Shade Room on Instagram, the story, and they play the beats back to back, and you can, they're identical. So, I don't think there's any real way that Chris Sales can get out of this unless they just didn't protect their work. If they were just putting their work out there on the internet without protection, Chris Sales might have an argument that, it's fair use. It was out there in the world. But we will have to wait and see. All right. Okay. So, guys, those were the 3 stories that we had for tonight. Again, I was really excited because all 3 stories that we had for tonight were submitted by you guys. I always tell you guys, if you find something interesting to send it to me, and y'all showed out today. I was really excited to get all of these DMs with stories. It lets me know that you're very engaged. I want to thank you for your participation this evening. I want to thank the new people who I saw tonight. Charlie, I don't think I've seen you in the broadcast before. If I have, my apologies, but thanks for joining us. But we can get into some Q&A right now if you guys have questions about the stories that we covered or about business formation in general. Thank you, Margaret. So if you have questions about Playboy versus Fashion Nova, if you have questions about Dunkin Donuts stripping that nasty restaurant of their franchisee rights, if you have questions about Chris Sales, I have questions because I don't know who this young man is. Now is your time to ask. But also if you have, newbie here. Okay, well, you are welcome, Charlie. But also, if you have questions about business formation, about EIN numbers, DUNS numbers, contracts, trademarks, copyrights, patents, if you have questions about registering your business with the state, how to protect your business name, how am I supposed to set up my money for my business? How do I keep somebody from stealing my logo? How do I hire people properly? Now is your time to ask. We have about 4 minutes before we close out. So I want to give you guys that time right now, okay? And also I want to remind you, share this out to your friends. Don't keep me a secret. I'm trying to, take this show on a bigger platform and spread the word to more people because, again, like I always say, there are a lot of people who have amazing business ideas. The barrier to entry to business is very, very low, but unfortunately, while we are a country that says we are built on small business, we don't teach people how to start or run businesses. So I'm making it my mission to really help us become astute business owners. So make sure you share this out to your friends, okay? But yeah, so if you... Shonda said, where do you apply for a DUNS number? So you apply for a DUNS number, you go to the Duns and Bradstreet website to apply for a DUNS number, okay? Now, if you don't know what that entails, I have a whole workshop of video training. If you go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm, there is a training called DUNS Numbers, the Business Passport, and I literally take you to the Duns and Bradstreet website and I show you how to apply for your DUNS number. We talk about, what the DUNS number is, why you need it, why it's important. So that's the short answer. You can either go straight to the Duns and Bradstreet website and apply, go kind of dig around, or you can go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm and pick up my DUNS number workshop training, okay? Margaret Massey said, can I trademark Beijing Berry? Obama said it. Probably not, because we know that Obama, he is worldwide. Everybody hangs off his every word. So I'm sure that people are going to be clocking that. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't try, but the fact that I'm still calling him President Obama, I don't care what y'all say, but the fact that President Obama is such a famous person and, his words, all of his words are recorded. The trademark office is probably going to reject your application and they're not going to refund your money. Okay? All right. Okay, so we've got 2 more minutes. If y'all have any more questions. If not, we can close out for the night. Again, I want to thank you guys for your attendance. I want to thank you for your energy and participation. Tonight was awesome. Don't forget to send me stories if you find anything interesting. Look, tonight was sponsored by y'all. Tonight was all about y'all, and it just made me it's great. Okay. Shonda said, okay, thank you. Now someone said that the fund is going away. What fund? No, okay. Shonda, I think I know what you're talking about. So DUNS numbers have multiple purposes. One of the purposes used to be is if you were interested in gaining a federal contract. However, the federal contract, the federal government is setting up their own identification numbers now for the federal for federal contracts, a number called the SAMI. So you still need a DUNS number if you're trying to get products and stuff into big stores and build your business credit. But if you're planning on going into federal contracting, you're going to need a SAMI number, okay? All right. Margaret Massey said, how do you send stories? You can DM them to me. You can message them to me, on Instagram or on Facebook. If you go to my Facebook page, there should be a button there that says message me, and you can just send me a link and I will see it. Trust me, I'm good at responding. Okay. All right. So, that is where I'm going to leave you, my darlings. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves. Get some sleep. Make sure that you wash your hands. Stay safe, guys. I'm going to keep saying it because it's still out here. Corona is not gone. I need y'all to stay safe, and it's hitting closer and closer to home. I keep hearing about people who are closer and closer to me getting it. I need y'all to stay safe, okay? Like, it's not a joke out here. Please stay safe. All right? Have a good night. Bye.